Wherever you are, take a deep breath in. Exhale, nose or mouth. Settle in. I'll leave it up to you whether you're choosing Ujjayi breath to consciously grow the breath. You might choose not to manipulate the breath yet, simply bringing the mind to the breath. In a non-demanding way, a spacious way, accepting what you find. And feel into the optimal breath we've been cultivating. Inhale, makes it all the way down to the low ribs, back ribs inflate, low belly releases. Exhale, hug the low abdominals in. Inhale, feel space in the low back ribs, lift. Exhale, hug low abdominals in. Almost pulsing the low belly, waking it up. Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril pranayam. Option is sit in knee pile. Any other seat is just fine for this breath exercise. Hey, Nick. You can do this without using your hands. Some would call that more advanced variation, where you just imagine breathing one nostril and out the other. Some of us are in the practice of not touching our face during COVID season. Then that's fine, do that. If your hands are clean and sanitized, you can alternately use your thumb. Fold down the index and middle finger, so you can use the ring and pinky finger to seal the nostrils. If having the third finger up hurts, or that's the fourth finger, I guess, you can just use pinky and thumb, that's fine. So not fussy about the mudra. Plug your right nostril with your thumb. Everyone inhale through your left nostril. Hold. Exhale, right side. Inhale, right. Hold. Out left. Start in again, left. Hold. Out right. In right. Hold. Out left. That finishes 2 rounds. Each round begins and ends in the left nostril. Again, in, hold, out right, in right, hold, out left. We'll continue 3 more rounds on your own. If you're in a cross-legged seat, change the cross of your legs. We'll switch the nostrils. You can switch hands if you like, plugging left nostril first. So each round will begin in through the right. You'll hold out left, back in left, hold out right, 1 round. Do that 3 times, okay? About equal parts, inhale, holding, exhale. You can count if that helps steady your brain. When you finish the round you're on, 1 more full round. When your rounds are complete, simply rest your hands, take a few breaths through both nostrils, and notice what that feels like. Seated side bend with one leg straight, neck release. If it's okay for you to sit with your left leg straight and then lean towards it as the second pose in class, then you'll extend left leg, and right leg can either be open in a half straddle or hurdler's lunge, right heel towards butt. If left leg straight bothers your hamstrings, it's distracting, you're not going to be able to release your neck, then I recommend folding the left knee in, and if possible, right heel to butt. That will have you sitting on your left cheek, and that's fine because we're leaning that way anyway. So if you're in any of the heel to butt shapes, hold your right ankle. If you're in half straddle, take your right fingers and stick them underneath your right sitting bone to pin them down. Left hand to the ground in front of left leg or on it. Flex the left foot up, make sure all 5 toes are pointing to sky, and then press the ball of the foot out, fanning the toes and foot bones. Good. Relax your neck to left shoulder. Hanging off your right arm. And to release the neck, sometimes simply hanging the head is too aggressive. You'll feel your neck tightening up. Just leaning everything to the left and using gravity and your exhale breaths to slowly unwind the tension that you're feeling in right side neck, jaw, and or shoulder. Relax left shoulder down from here. 2 more breaths. You can stay in neck release, or some of you I know are craving a more of a extension. Right arm might reach out to the left. Huge breaths into the right side ribs. Any arm position is fine if extending it hurts shoulder. And then perhaps you inhale to come out the way you came in. If it's easier just to put your hands down, hang your head down, crawl up that way. All right. Change legs. By the way, sometimes one hip, one knee is so different between left and right that you need a different shape on the side. That's fine. This is a neck pose. So if you need to take a different option, again, your options are heel to butt, half straddle, or fold the right knee in. Right hand to the right. If you're in the mermaid leg shape, then your right hand goes directly out from your hip. I can't see everyone's legs, so I trust you'll figure out where to bend sideways for you. Those of you extended leg, right hand in front of leg, left hand either holding ankle, or if your ankle's not there, pin your fingers underneath your left sitting bone. And relax, head towards the right shoulder. I'm not concerned which direction your chin, nose are facing, but I would like your head to stay lined up over the shoulder itself. Its heaviness as it releases will probably start to round forward, so keep it open. Activate the right foot. You can bend the right knee as much as you need. Inhale, lengthen both sides of the rib cage away from your pelvis. Exhale, soften both shoulder blades away from your neck. Right arm can let go completely. And left arm has you. Optional, releasing left hand and extending it overhead to sky or foot. Using that extension to invite more breath into the left side body. Get those muscles between the ribs to start to soak in the breath. Inhale, ease your way up. And come on down to your back. You might want your roll and block handy. First, we'll be doing twisted root abs. We'll just take a moment in hip helper. Once you're settled onto your back, if this is okay for hips and low back, crossing right thigh over left thigh, no daylight between the thighs. Some of you will right away double bind the right foot. That's fine. Arms down alongside body, about halfway between shoulders and hips. Palms down. So arms feel like a support, but they can relax. Start to squeeze the thighs in towards each other. Turn the thighs in, tops of the thighs in. Squeeze at your sit bones. Squeeze at your low belly. Breathe into your heart so low belly can stay in. Now super glue your thighs together so they stay stuck as you pretend to pull them apart. Rotate the tops of the thighs away from each other and pull. If it feels okay to release at the pelvic floor sitting bones, you can release there. If that feels like a strain, any strain at all in back of pelvis, stay contracted. All right, release that. Change legs. Now I forgot to say, we're doing this maybe like 30% of your strength. Not going to town on these joints, especially if you're working with any SI instability, SI joint, sacroiliac joint, or low back issues. And you can feel a little burn when you do it. All right, so to squeeze your thighs together, them in towards each other. And it is a little bit like you got to go pee, squeezing the tops of the inner thighs, squeezing at your pelvic floor, squeezing at your low belly. Not squeezing your teeth. Relax your face. Still breathing. And then super glue the inner thighs. So you can pretend to pull them apart, rotate away, pull, pull, pull. Active feet. Even a little tucked tail is fine. But if you can relax everything except for the super glue, do that and pull. And then relax your legs. All right, twisted root abs. Our abdominal series will be done in that eagle leg shape. If you got any pinching in your low back at all, you're not sure about doing twisted root, then instead either work in a chair shape with your thighs together, or better yet, put your roll or your block or pillow between your thighs so they stay hips width apart. You can still engage inner thighs without contorting at the pelvis. All right, so feel into your shape. We'll start with right over left, those of you guys doing twisted root. You can do this with foot on the floor. That'll take some of the strain out. That's fine. If your feet are off the floor, line your knees up directly over your pelvis, pointing straight up to the sky. Clasp your hands behind your head and neck. Take a breath down into your low back. Flatten low back into the mat. Spread your toes. Exhale, curl your head and shoulders straight up to the ceiling and pull your belly in. Head and shoulders will stay up for the next couple of breaths. Inhale, flatten low back, bottom ribs onto the mat. Exhale, curl the tailbone, send knees straight up to ceiling, not towards your face, but straight up. Squeeze your inner thighs, pull belly down. Set your tailbone down. Inhale, spread low back onto the mat, low ribs onto the mat. Exhale, curl tailbone up, squeeze sit bones into tailbone, squeeze the tops of the inner thighs, pull belly down. One more. Set your tailbone down, lift your shoulders up, inhale down into low back. Curl the tailbone up, pull your belly down. Keep your legs as they are, lower your head and shoulders down. Bring your right hand onto your right thigh, left hand on right hand. Or if you're in a chair shape, put a hand on each thigh for cannonball. Knees line up over your hips. Feet are active. Breathe your low back flat into the mat. Top rim of sacrum and bottom ribs are down. Exhale, press palms into thighs, thighs into palms. Again, 30% strength goes a long way here, maybe even less. Keep your navel in, breathe up into the chest and the ribs under your armpits. Sustain the pressure for one more breath. Last piece in this series, relax the pressure, but keep the legs as they are if possible, arms down alongside the body. Breathe into the low back, flatten it, curl tailbone. Exhale, move your knees maybe 1 inch forward where they are. Pull the sides of the waist down, pull the ribs into the waist. Relax your arms, chest, and shoulders, and jaw. Everything above navel, relax it. Everything below navel, working strong to keep the legs from slamming down. All right, unwind that. Legs straight up to the sky. And like you're trying to shake water off your toes, give yourself a shake. If your joints are healthy, let that shake reverberate down through your legs so your muscles start to slosh on the bones. Let the energy run through. If that shaking bothers your joints at all, your knees, your hips, just do foot circles, toe movements. All right. Bad news, good news. There's one more side. Good news, just one more side. And those of you who chose a neutral shape, if you want to sit out this round, well, you might be done. Twisted roots, left thigh over right. If feet are off the floor, the knees line up over your hips. Hands clasp. Maybe figure out which one is the opposite interlace of fingers behind your head and neck. Scramble your brain a little bit. Point your elbows up to the ceiling. Take a breath down into your low back. Flatten it into mat. Exhale, curl your head and shoulders straight up. Send triceps to ceiling to draw shoulder blades up without straining your neck. Take a breath down into low back. Exhale, tip your tailbone straight up. Squeeze thighs, pull your belly down. Set the tailbone down. Breathe down into low back and sacrum. Exhale, curl the tailbone up. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your sit bones in towards your tail, pull your belly down. Inhale, set your tailbone down. Exhale, curl the tailbone up. Set your tail down, breathe into low back. Exhale, curl, squeeze, draw navel to spine. Relax your head and shoulders down. If possible, keep legs where they are. Left hand on your thigh, right hand on left hand, or one hand on the middle of each thigh for cannonball. Press the low back flat. Take a breath. Exhale, pressure, hands into thighs, thighs into hands. Just enough to build the cannonball pressure. Keep breathing up into the lungs, feeling the ribs spread out by your shoulders. Relax the furrow at your brow. Last piece, relax the pressure, arms down alongside body. Inhale, flatten top rim of sacrum down, tuck the tail. Exhale, legs forward just an inch and pull the lowest ribs into your waist, sides of waist to the ground. Still breathing into heart. Exhale, release that. Either shake it out again or come into happy baby or anything that helps you let that go. All right, bridge series. We'll start with 3 half bridge lifts and then move into bridge on a block with the option to raise one leg up. So at any point of those, you might choose to just stay with half bridge lifts. Or if you're not using a block, you might not want to lift one foot off the floor, especially if you're working with back issues. So if you're not sure, have your block in reaching distance. If you have a roll handy, I'm almost always a fan of holding a roll between thighs during bridge unless it bothers your knees. That for the first couple of bridge lifts. Activate your feet, relax your arms. Arms, shoulders, jaw will have no work to do here. Relax that. Turn the feet on. Press the balls of the feet down, spread them out on the mat, lift and spread your toes. Ground your heels, curl your tailbone up. Inhale, press hips to sky. Exhale, lengthen your tailbone forward. Inhale, exhale, lower down. Take a breath at the bottom. Exhale to curl up. Lead at the tailbone. Lengthen low back forward. Breathe into chest. Exhale, lower down. One more round. Take a breath at the bottom. Exhale, drive feet down to curl tail up. Feel for sending your roll forward, real or imaginary. Keep your belly in, breathe into the rib cage. And some of you will roll back down, continuing your half bridge lifts on your own breath. Some of you will find your block. Prop it underneath your sacrum, the highest height you're willing to work right now. And then take the roll away if it's there. Now, even if you're using the block, you can choose to keep both feet on the ground. That's fine. Press into the block, press into your feet. Curl the tailbone. It might lift off the block, it might not, but I want you to keep lengthening. You might notice if you relax completely, put your body weight on the block, there's a lot of compression in low back. And sometimes we do that intentionally. We go for that compression. Not right now, not where we're about to tap into leg strength. Those of you doing the one-legged work, heel toe left foot in towards center. Draw right knee to chest, inhale. Exhale, right leg to the ceiling. I'm not concerned how straight your right leg gets. Use it lengthening up to help draw your right hip up. Press with the left inner foot, inner heel, ball of foot, to keep left hip rising. Yes, shoulders might be helping a little here, but make sure left leg, both legs are doing the bulk of the work. Curl tailbone up. Hug right knee into chest and set right foot down close to left foot. Tuck your tail. Inhale, left knee to chest. Exhale to the sky. Curl pubic bone and navel. Keep navel in. Breathe up into the heart. Bend left knee to chest and set both feet down. Separate your feet a little wider. Press down into the earth. Feel how strong your two legs are when they get to work together. Move block out of the way. Take a breath into chest and slowly roll your spine down as smooth as you can from top to bottom. We haven't done that one in a while, so you might have to come down real slow. Once you're down, I recommend resting position, knees together, feet apart. If you prefer resting butterfly or windshield wipes, just use the shape to get the breath down into low back, pelvis. All right, figure 4. Flex the right ankle on or across the left thigh. You can choose to keep left foot on the floor and do a little gentle fraction pressing palms into the thighs, or hug the left knee in for a more targeted hip stretch. Any variation of this that directs your breath down into your right hip and feels like it's releasing the low back. Change sides. And in general, I recommend keeping left foot flexed, especially little pinky toe, as a way to stabilize the knee. But of course, if you're feeling otherwise in your body, you listen to what your body's telling you. All right, let's find our way up to standing for calf stretches. So breathe as you find your way up. Find your blanket or towel. Again, yoga blanket. You can have it like how you would find it in the studio and simply roll it up like that. I find if I unfold it and then roll it, it's a little firmer. Probably if I unfolded it more, but I'm not going to take the time to do that, especially since I'll be using my towel today. If you're using a towel, you'll just have to fold it a couple of times to get it to your desired thickness. And then before we even step on it, we'll talk a second about pelvic alignment, bringing our hips back over our heels, because I think this is what's making all the change. Heaven knows I've done dozens, up to hundreds of down dogs a day for years, and my calves have never gotten stretched like this. So once you're standing in Tadasana, I want you to feel for rocking your hips back towards your heels. Trying to line the sacrum over your heels or the greater trochanter, this outer hip bone, over your ankle. You can use your camera if you can see it, or you can just try to feel that point where you feel like you're going to fall on your butt. Then lean forward a little bit. And then breathe the back ribs out so you're not collapsing forward. It'll still probably feel like collapsing compared to all the yoga shapes we usually do. That's okay for this. Retract your chin. All right. Now we'll step on the roll and feel for that alignment. Let's step right foot first. And if possible, stand in Tadasana, legs side by side, so you can feel the hips even, right hip even with left. Rock the hips back. Then you can feel what makes more sense to you with your hands. Pubic bone vertical with the front hip bones. Or back hip bumps vertical with the front. Not everyone can feel these hip bones, so luckily yoga pants sometimes have stripes. They help. All right, once you're in that shape, soften your chest back down, breathe the back ribs out, release low belly. Exhale, hug low belly in. Either stay in Tadasana or step left foot forward or back. And then just bring your hips with you so your hips land between the 2 feet. Goal post to the left arm, bend the left elbow. And start to bring right hand to left side chest for chest opener. Breathe the length into your right calf muscles, heel to the ground. Exhale, soften the left shoulder blade down. Breathe into the left side chest. Exhale, move your hand back just a little. Breathe into low back ribs, flare them out. Exhale, hug low belly in. All right, relax your arms, step off your roll. Set up side number 2. Get your hips back a little further than you think they should be. Maybe one more inch, Cynthia, if you want, if you dare. No falling on bottoms. Right, now breathe the back ribs out and up. I think for what you've been telling about your low back, this eventually will make all the difference. Maybe. I'll be curious to hear what your part. Wow. I should, I don't have the technology to screenshot you, but you look straight. All right, goalpost, which arm are we on? Right arm. Option to step right foot forward or back and then realign your hips. Left hand to right side chest. Send breath from your lengthening left calf up into the right side of your heart. Exhale, ease the shoulder blade back into your upper back. Letting the chest open at its organic rate. You can massage it. Or for some, this traction feels good. Sticking left hand to chest and drawing it towards center without sliding on the skin. All right, relax your arms. Let's come on to all fours for dolphin variations. Option Dolphin Hip Opener. So I'll do a visual really fast forward. Options we'll measure for Dolphin Prep or Dolphin Hip Opener. So like everything else, you can pause at any stage and get your medicine there. We'll all start together with elbows on the ground. Hands wrap around your upper arms. Either clasp the hands in front of you, or if your shoulders are healthy, you might put the palms down and creep the palms, middle fingers directly in front of the elbows. The elbows stay in. Press the ground away with your forearms. Keep the wrists soft, hang your head, and then lean your tail up and back. Keep lifting and then stretching out of the shoulders. When that feels safe, then tuck your toes. Inhale, exhale, straighten your legs. Good. And then work with those long calves. Let that help as you get your hips back towards your heels. Get some of the weight out of your shoulders. If you feel fairly equal and balanced on your shoulders and your legs, then you step your feet together. Maybe step the right foot forward a little bit more so it's grounded, and then raise the left leg up behind you. Bend the left knee. And if you turn to open the hips, then ground through your left elbow. Keep the chest square. Breathe into low back ribs here. Exhale, hug low belly in. Use that to lengthen tail. Good. Bring left foot down next to right foot. Feel free to come down and start all over if you're feeling any pinch compression in the shoulders. Start at the beginning, set yourself up so you got spaciousness in the shoulders before you raise right leg into hip opener. If you're not doing both legs today, that'll be okay. You won't end up walking in circles. Sometimes both sides are not accessible every day. Nice active feet, you guys. All right, embryo pose. Set your feet down, set your knees down. If it's right for you to sit on your heels in child's, then relax your hands by your feet. If that's not great for knees, back, or shoulders, then find a comfortable resting position for you. All right, let's find our way up to standing for a few suns. And you're absolutely welcome throughout your yoga practice to feel for that sense of pelvis back over heels, back ribs expanding. Eventually I get to a point where it feels like my hips are floating. There's that much unwinding happening. So I invite you to pause in that place whenever you like. Inhale, arms up. Sun salute A. Exhale, forward fold. Pull your belly in. Inhale, half lift. Let's do one half sun first. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, samastiti. All right, half sun's an option for anyone who's skipping chaturanga's up dogs today. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank, lower down. Whether you're moving into formal chaturanga or lowering your knees down and coming with control, that works too. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale, pull your heart through. If you're in cobra, your hips are on the mat, your elbows are bent. Up dogs, your knees are lifting straight off the mat. Elbows micro bending. Exhale, downward dog. Two more breaths in down dog. Breathe into low back ribs. Exhale, hug low belly in. Option to tuck chin to throat and look towards navel. Mula Bandha is welcome as long as you check in once in a while to relax it. Inhale, step or jump forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, samastiti. One more like that. Inhale, arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga or lower down slow. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, downward facing. 3 breaths. Step or jump forward. Inhale your chest forward. Exhale, fold. Hug low belly in. Inhale, rise. Exhale, samastiti. 2 rounds, Surya Namaskara, B. Utkatasana. Inhale, bend your knees. Rock your weight back, knees over heels. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Or step into down dog. We've got some bonus chaturangas in the B series. Inhale. Exhale, downward. Warrior one. Step right foot between your hands, ground the back heel, and press off your feet to rise. Inhale, arms up, tail down. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot forward. Ground back heel. Back toe is out about 30 degrees. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Stretch it back. Breathe out. Step or jump to front of mat. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Bend your knees. Samastitihi. Return to standing. Once again, Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga or down dog. Full breath in and out, downward facing. Right foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. Left foot. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take 3 breaths. If you need to set your knees down, that's fine. Step or hop your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Separate your feet hips width, about 6 inches apart. If you can reach your big toes, lock them with the index finger, middle finger, palms face each other, or put your hands on the sides of your legs and exhale, fold. If you're protecting hamstrings, then you keep your knees bent and curl the tailbone down. If your hamstrings are healthy, you can feel for straightening the legs and lifting the sit bones up. Pull your low belly in. Those of you with healthy hamstrings but low back issues, that might be helpful. Reversing your pelvic tilt. Release your toes. Triangle. Inhale, flat back. Step your left foot back into triangle stance, like 2.5, 3 feet behind the right. Right hand to shin or block. Left hand can start on hip. As you turn your hips and shoulders open to the side. Hi, Wilhelm. Any other arm variation? Reverse warrior. Bend your right knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. twisting lunge. Bring your hands down to frame the right foot. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, left arm forward or up. Exhale, left elbow over right thigh. If this twist causes any pinching in low back, then left hand to floor. Right hand on sacrum might be more appropriate. Put some pressure in the left arm. Inhale. Feel for lifting your left ribs away from thigh, out of your armpit. And then exhale, spiral left ribs over your right thigh. Ease the right shoulder back. Half splits. Exhale, hands down. Shift your hips back over the left knee, right leg straight-ish. I'll recommend the flexed foot variation, heart towards toes. Maybe even tuck the back toes under. If pressing bottom of foot to floor is better for you today, that's fine. You can experiment and see how changing the foot position will change what you feel all the way up in the hips. Pull your right hip back if you're in flex foot. Bend the right knee. And your choice of transition, step back into down dog, take a vinyasa, or step forward and fold. You can even do the 2 blocks we practiced last week and practice that with your transitions. I could have said that much earlier. Triangle. Down dog, step left foot about 2/3 of the way to your hands. Standing, step the right foot back. Use your right hand to open your right hip. Shoulders, hips, heels in one line, ideally. And then right arm, any other variation. Put some energy in the right hand. I know this pose gets really downward heavy. Feel for reaching through right arm, hand, breathing to get some lightness. Whether you energize by spreading fingers or sticking them together, we do different things in different yogas. None of them are incorrect. Warrior 2, bend your left knee. Reverse warrior. Inhale, left arm up. Now feel for lifting the right arch up a little bit, grounded on both feet. Twisting lunge. Exhale, hands come down to either side of left foot, lower your back knee down. Some of you lift your hips way high when you make that transition, so you're not tweaking the bones. Right arm up or forward, whatever helps you lengthen your spine with 0 pain, and then hook right elbow. I make a fist with the right hand so I can keep the bend out of the wrist. Some yogas teach prayer hands. Half splits. Shifting your hips back, maybe flexing the left foot. Inhale, bend left knee. Let's transition down to our seats. If you want to take a vinyasa, cool. If you want to stand up and then sit down, just keep breathing. Let's start in armpit prep. You might want to sit up on something. So you can hook right ankle, flex right ankle over the left knee. Or as we're going to move into some armpit shapes, sometimes putting the foot right on the left thigh makes it more accessible. This would be trying to get your foot into your armpit. Good. Option, you can sit as you are. I usually call this looking for dolphins on the beach, lifting your heart, gazing at the horizon. By the way, if any of you can join me for beach yoga on Fridays, the dolphins sometimes appear. Option is scoot your hips towards your heel. Option to bring your chest or face closer to right foot. And you can, if you want, use your hands to help. Maybe even hooking right arm across the right foot, working it towards the armpit. Rewind the way you came in. Side number 2, left ankle or foot on the right knee, right thigh above the knee. There it is. Yes, here's where sitting on a blocker, raising your seat makes all of this way more accessible. So in case you want to sniff what's going on here and you want to get closer. So sending breath into left hip, if that guides you to getting closer and closer to foot, even maybe trying to hook left arm over foot. Exhale, rewind the way you came in. Janu Shirsasana A or B. Left leg straight. Right knee open with the toes touching left leg for A, or for B, sit on your right heel with the right knee open. Either way, turn your belly towards left thigh for your forward fold. Some of you working forward fold with the straps to get the length and low back. Of course, do that. Inhale, glance towards toes. Pull low belly in to come up. Change legs. If possible, mirror what you just did with the left foot. Angle navel to knee and exhale, fold. Inhale, glance towards toes. Fill back ribs. Exhale, hug low belly in and come up. All right, one more round of forward folds, left leg straight. You might choose A or B again, maybe the one you didn't do, maybe the one you did do. You can revisit. C, taking the right foot, sitting on a block, helpful for this one too, and turning your right toes down to the ground. So you're standing on right toes with right heel against left inner thigh. And then as you come down, you work your right knee towards the ground. Optional, if you want the hip opening, but not that extreme for your toes, half lotus. So lots of choices. Inhale into low back ribs, glance your eyes forward. Exhale, pull low belly into come up. Other side. Try to do what you did on the first side. I find if you're doing the toe crunch, it can be helpful to cradle the leg and rock it out a little bit. So it's a little lubricated before you twist it into this odd position. Like I said, if you raise your seat, a little more accessible, a little kinder to the toes. If you're not moving into toe break, any other Janu Shirsasana is fine. Breathe into low back ribs. Look forward. Exhale, pull belly in to come up. Come on down to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. If you have a strap, you can put it over your feet for an upside down forward fold. Or simply extend the legs, or do happy baby if your hamstrings have had enough. Happy baby, neutralizing spine. Or almost coming into plow, your hips start to lift up, then feel for pressing the sacrum back down to the earth to release low back. And to get that low back activation, your legs do not have to be all the way straight. All right. Short rest. If you prefer a longer Shavasana, we can say namaste now. So you can turn off the computer and any distractions and take a true Shavasana, letting go for 5 to 7 minutes. If you're staying with me for a minute or two, get yourself comfortable enough. Classical position is lying on the back in corpse pose. But really any shape where your spine is relatively straight will work for this integration. Take a deep breath. Move your fingers and your toes. Bend your knees and maybe ease yourself off to your side. It feels safer for your body to just kick up Use momentum. Keep it easy. We'll meet with our palms together. Thumbs against your sternum, lift your heart. Bow your head to your heart. May we benefit from our practice. May our practice benefit not only us, but all those whose lives we touched, even the ones we didn't know we did. Namaste.